Hey gang, Uncle Todd, Sunny here, and got a different Batman shirt today. This is cover of one of my favorite Batman stories, the Joker's Five-Way Revenge, which was basically his return to form in the 70s. It's one of his all-time best Joker stories. Certainly up there with The Laughing Fish, which is another of my favorite. We are getting into Caped Crusader Season 2, Episode 2. And we open at the headquarters of Triad Industries, where a rocketeer type person in a suit, big helmet, flies into the building and blows up several floors up in the top area and then flies back out. Now, the next morning, Bruce is reading about this while Lucius Fox, who runs Wayne Corp, is going over the stuff he has to go with Bruce over, even though Bruce doesn't seem to have much interest in the company. And that's when it turns out that the Triad had been wanting to do business with Bruce and Wayne Corp. And they had sent a film over, promotional film. Well, Bruce is intrigued, so he tells Lucius, bring that film over tomorrow and we'll watch it. Pop some popcorn. Then that night, as Batman, he uses a glider, sort of a hang glider type thing, bat shaped, to go into the Triad building. See, the official story had been electrical short. Bruce looks over everything. Not electrical. His was like concussion grenades and things like that. And he overhears, what is his name? Hardwick, who's sort of a head of security, one of the big bigs at the company, congratulating one of the guards there for the cover up they've been doing. Apparently, this has been going on for some time. They're covering stuff up. Well, fortunately, they spot the glider, and there's a bit of a chase, but Batman gets away. Now, next morning, eating popcorn, or maybe it's afternoon, I don't know which, Bruce and Lucius watch the promotional video, which talks about rockets, building rockets, which will be powered by a substance called ultrium. And this is being explained by Dr. Sutton. Well, Bruce is really intrigued now, so he asks Lucius to set up a meeting with Triad. Lucius is kind of happy. Hey, good to see you're finally taking some interest in the business. So, they go to the meeting that they've set up where they meet Lawford, the CEO. And it's also where they learn they cannot speak with Dr. Sutton. She died in a lab accident at her home. It's a horrible thing. Well, they also see that they see the ultrium and the make up mock-ups of the rockets and everything, and there's going to be a demonstration in a couple of days. Now the ultrium, which is very valuable, not a lot of it. Oh, and they can also continue on with the work. They have all of her notes and stuff, so not going to affect anything if you're wanting to invest. And as for the ultrium, it is going to be transported by train to where the demonstration will be. And Bruce is invited. Well, as Batman, he starts following the train, and good thing, because that rocketeer shows up in a little rocket ship and then jumps out and flies, till the train breaks in, starts fighting the guards. Batman jumps in, and the guards turn on him too. They must be working together. So, Batman is guiding off the guards and trying to capture the Rocketeer, and some Rocketeer suit's pretty bulletproof, but a shell hits the Rocketeer in the face, knocking part of the mask off. At which point, Bruce realizes, or Batman realizes, the Rocketeer is Dr. Sutton. She survived the accident. Well, she's not startled. He's not ready when she knocks him and the rest of the remaining guards into another train car, decouples the car with the Ultrium in it. It goes along. Batman sees the car blow up and the Rocketeer shoot out. All that Ultrium's gone. It's not all of it, but most of it. Well, let's see where we are. Okay, and Batman, being a detective, starts to do some research and finds that over the past year and a half, there's been a series of these kind of attacks on Triad. In fact, it was only the lab area of the headquarters building that was blown up. And they've been covering this up. So Batman heads to the remains of Dr. Sutton's lab, where he finds a hidden underground lab in the barn. And Dr. Sutton's there, and he tries to convince her to stop this. Nobody's died yet, but, you know. And that's when we see Dr. Sutton comes out of the shadows and she got this huge scar right down here. Almost no hair here. She was messed up. And it is here we get the background on the accident. She was taking all of her research away from Triad because she found out they were going to be selling it to foreign nations. Enemy nations. For money. That's all they care about. Doesn't matter. She can't stand for that, and she goes home only to discover that a bomb was placed in her lab. It blows up, but she managed to save herself in one of the prototypes of the rocket car she'd been working on. Badly damaged, but living. She then sets off a self-destruct in the underground lab and rockets out of there. Batman quickly grabs up all the blueprints and notes he can find and gets out just before it explodes. Now, he postulates with Alfred the next attack is going to be at the demonstration. Now, we learn at the demonstration the last remaining amount of the Ultrium is in their only rocket ship. They're going to shoot up for the demonstration. After that, there will be an easy street. They can figure out how to make the Ultrium later. And so they start the countdown. While that's happening, the Rocketeer, cat hair. Wonder how that happened. Yeah, I know it wasn't you. Anyway, the Rocketeer is approaching in her rocket car. Batman, I think it's a gyrocopter. It's not a copter, but it's some kind of a small makeshift plane. Comes up behind her, and they get in a little dogfight. Both ships get damaged and blow up. They both get out. They kind of fight a little in the air. She does not let him fall to his death. They crash into the warehouse, where Batman sees all the evidence of missiles and war supplies there. That's what they were going to be selling, really. At that point, Hardwick and the rest of the security show up, and so there's a bit of a firefight. And then the rocket gets launched. Batman says he'll cover Sutton if she can take care of the rocket. And he does, using his batarangs, and she gets up in the sky, and then it's down to a one-on-one between Batman and Hardwick, and they fight all over that warehouse. Hardwick's pretty tough. He's a huge man. But eventually he finally gets knocked down and can't get back up. But he laughs. It's too late. Rocket's gone up. They'll make the sales. They'll be rich, and there's nothing he can do about it. Well, Dr. Sutton gets to the ship, opens a panel, and basically, with her bare hands, rips the Ultrium out, which causes a short circuit which blows up the rocket. Well, there'll be no sales. And the company's going to go bankrupt. And then someone turns over evidence of their treasonous acts, and all of the head of the company get arrested. Then, at Dr. Sutton's home site, Bruce and Alfred put all their notes and blueprints in a pit, pour gasoline on it, and set it on fire. Alfred's a little unsure. Are you sure you want to do this? I mean, after all, this could be a big boon to mankind. And Batman is like, but it's already shown that it can fall into the wrong hands very easily. And this was her wish to destroy all this, so it couldn't be used again. Alfred has to agree with that. And as we leave, we find that Bruce has bought the land, and he's going to be opening up the Sutton Labs there in her honor. And we end the episode with the Joker, who has given Hugo Strange a dose of his Joker venom and is cleaning out all of that formula he had that's was used last week, labeled Blockbuster. Now that's a deep cut right there. Only really die-hard Batman fans know about Blockbuster. He was a character created during the campy 60 era, during the Batman show, or just post that, where it was basically DC's answer to the Hulk. He was a kid who tried to come up with a formula. He was, sickly, undersized to make himself stronger. He was a genius. And it turned him into this mindless giant who rampaged around and caused problems for Batman throughout, off and on through the 60s and occasionally in the 80s. I don't think they use him much anymore. Anyway, that's where we end. I like this episode a lot better than last week's. You got a really good, interesting villain, actually anti-hero. Love the whole Rocketeer thing. As a serial fan, I love Rocket Man. And I loved the Rocketeer movie. Comic was really good too. So, yeah, it was nice, and it fits in well with the 40s pastiche they do. And you get to see Batman actually do some investigation as Bruce. I like that. So all in all, this is a great episode. Loved it. I know things are going to get back to the whole mob thing. But for now, I like these little one-offs with these new interesting villains. Maybe Dr. Sutton will return sometime. Can only hope. Well, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.